Hello, today is August 14th, 2020. Today is actually your first graded quiz. So, what I want to do is I'm going to give you a review, but of a sample quiz. This is not the same quiz that you'll be taking later today. So, these are not the same answers. So, the first thing you're going to do is you'll open up the quiz. What I would do is I would split my page. So by that, I mean I would put half of a website over here and a half of a website over here. I would have the PDF for today's assignment pulled up right here. And then I would have the quiz right here. And so I would look at question 1. It says match each square root to its answers. So the first thing I would do is like, okay, it wants to know the exact square root of things. So I'm going to use Desmo's calculator. I would have it minimized so I could access it whenever I want. And so, like, we're going to start here to where, like, it says square root of 36. Square root 36 is 6. Square root of 154. So then I would do square root of 154. And it says 12.40. So I would go to the answer, 12.40. And then I would clear it again, go to the next one. It says square root of 200. 14.1. So 14.1. And then I would do square root of 225. Square root of 225. It says 15. 15. And then I would do the next one. See how this one's blank? That's a mistake. There'll be a number there on your test. But here's a good, if that ever happens to you, you're like, I don't know what to put there. This one's 9. Look at your answer choices. You've got 6, 12.409, all of them. They're the same answer. So which one's not being used? So we have 11.269 that's not being used. Guarantee that's the answer right there. The ... means it continues forever, which it's an irrational number. All right, the square of 17, again, I'd use my calculator. 17 squared is 289. Now, this is one that's tricky. I would use the PDF version of this. It says a decimal repeating, a square root, a decimal repeating, a square root, and pi. So it says, which of the groups does it all belong to? Well, okay, so I know that these numbers are all going to be the same type of numbers. It says pi. So pi is an irrational number. So the first thing I would do is go to irrational number. Well, are there any other numbers that falls into? Sure, it does. See how the circle is inside real numbers? So it's also a real number. So then I would click real numbers, and that would be the answers for this, real numbers and irrational numbers. Question 4, what set does 11.3 belong to? So I would just go through these and say, oh, doesn't belong to natural, doesn't belong to whole, doesn't belong to integers. It does belong to a rational number because it ends. So decimals that end are rational numbers. So this one is just, it stops at 3. So this is a rational number. All rational numbers are also real numbers. And then it says, which of the following is not a rational number? Okay, so the square root of 37, it's not a perfect square. I can check that by going to this sheet and seeing square root 36. It's not, so that one's is a irrational number. We know pi is an irrational number. And the definition of an irrational number is a decimal that never ends and never repeats. Well, if we look right here, 5.167 ... it doesn't end, and I can't seem to come up with a pattern. However, 5.167, and then it stops. It doesn't go on any further. The estimate of 147. So this is where you pull up this sheet. Some of you guys were confused on the thinking on this. So you find the two numbers above and below. So it falls between 144 and 169. Because it's closer to 144, it is going to be estimated as 12. The estimate closest to the square root of 45. Same thing here. Find the one above and below. So it falls between 36 and 49. And in this case, it is closer to 49, so it's going to be 7. And then on this one, it says convert this into a decimal. So the first thing you're going to do is, I know it's going to start out with 1 point because I've got a whole number here. So 1 point. So the only part you got to focus on is the 3/8. And so the 3/8 part, you're just going to pull your calculator back up and you're going to type in 3 divided by 8. And so it says 0.375. So after the point, you're going to put 375. And then that should be it. You'll submit, and then you'll check out your grade. Now, you will have 2 attempts on this assignment. So if you don't do well the first time, you're more than welcome to retry it. If you'll notice, I got 13 out of 13. But these are not the same questions, not the same answers as your quiz that you're taking today. This is just your review. Good luck, and I hope you have a good weekend.